everybody, and welcome. My name is Sarah, one of the Customer Success Specialists here at Jarvis. In today's webinar, we will be walking through how to create reminders and workflows in Jarvis. This can impact your schedule in targeted and effective ways. Creating reminders and workflows allows you to reach out to patients that would otherwise go unnoticed, upping your practice's revenue, efficiencies, and patient satisfaction. There are two types of reminders in Jarvis: automated reminders and manual reminders. We will have a future webinar addressing automated reminders and how to create them and all their benefits, but today we'll be going through how to create manual reminders here in the Jarvis platform. One of the most common questions I get asked as a customer success specialist here at Jarvis is, how do I fill my schedule? And so let's talk briefly first about an expected return on investment calculation by using Jarvis. Let's assume you make 5 follow-up contacts to a patient each day, or 2 patients each day, and that out of these 5 attempts, 1 additional appointment per day is scheduled. If we can safely say each appointment is worth about $200, that equates to about $4,000 more per month of production, or about $48,000 a year for a full-time practice. That's a lot, and that's some easy daily things that you can do. You can create these follow-up workflows to address this using a few key modules in Jarvis. You can use the front office module, first of all, to create broader workflows. We reviewed this in a previous webinar, so definitely worth going back and checking that out. But today we'll be showing you how to create more targeted campaigns. We're going to start out with the Hygiene Recall module. So the Hygiene Recall module can show you a targeted campaign to recover hygiene appointments by provider and by date range. You can use the date range picker here in the upper left-hand corner to go ahead and select your different date ranges for patients. So what I mean by this is this date range shows me all of my patients who have come in during this date range. So this is really great what we're working with right now for hygiene reappoint metrics. So these people who are going to be due in 6 months from now versus people who are due right now. The best way I would say is to work on these workflows right now is to take this missed recall column, go ahead and sort it, and select this breakout button. This will show me all 46 of those patients who don't have a follow-up hygiene visit. Also from this screen, you can bulk create reminders. So I can safely say all of these patients don't have a follow-up hygiene recare visit, and I can go ahead and select that hygiene recare. I want to be able to work on that by the end of the month. And then I can select a user to assign it to, and I can bulk create reminders that way. And that's a very easy way to create these workflows in large groups. Another way to use this module is to use it for hygiene recall versus hygiene reappoint. So people who need to come in right this week. How I normally recommend doing that is coming back 6 months. So we'll just say October in this case, and I'll hit update. And anytime you change the date range here or change the location, make sure to hit that update button. Once you do that, that will refresh the data in Jarvis. And so, for example, I'm going to go ahead and pick this provider right here, and I'm going to pick her for missed recall. So these are all going to be patients who are due now who don't have a follow-up hygiene visit. So from here, I can very quickly and easily do the same thing I did before, which is go ahead and create those bulk reminders. But I want to follow up on that by the end of this week because I want them in now versus in 6 months from now. I can also just call them from this screen, and I can even export this information into an Excel file if I'm more comfortable working off an Excel file. The one note I will make about Hygiene Recall, like many other modules in Jarvis, it is code-driven. Occasionally, you could see a patient that pops up here that does have a follow-up hygiene visit scheduled, but the reason that you would see them is because there is nothing that Jarvis identifies as a hygiene code in that appointment. And what I mean by that is, you can schedule an appointment in your practice management system, and if there isn't, a D1110, 1120, any of your perio codes, the 4910s, in that appointment, Jarvis won't be able to identify it as a hygiene appointment, and therefore it won't be able to identify it as hygiene recall. So make sure that when you are scheduling, you're putting those codes in as you're doing that. Now that we've been able to go over Hygiene Recall, the next module I'd like to show you today is our Treatment Miner module. So Treatment Miner is an effective gold mine of your unscheduled treatment. What I really enjoy about Treatment Miner is that it allows me targeted ways to schedule treatment based on month planned, code, and provider to achieve the most meaningful and targeted results for my location. So let me show you generally how I like to use Treatment Miner. So first I like to sort by this pending unscheduled treatment to the top. It looks like that's from August 2020 here. I can click the breakout button to see all of that treatment going into that metric. I can again sort by pending unscheduled treatment, and I can see all of these patients, and this is the dollar amount associated with the treatment plan made in that month. So as a caveat, this might not be all the treatment associated with that patient, but the treatment associated with them the month that you're looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and select this patient here, and I can actually go look at their treatment plan, and I can see what's unscheduled, what's been scheduled, and what's completed. It looks like they have all of this unscheduled treatment, so it's very quick and easy to either create a reminder straight from this screen like we did earlier. You can create an unscheduled treatment reminder. We saw that was about $10,000 of unscheduled treatment. I can assign it to somebody, and I can go ahead and create that. And that's one way to use this module. You can also bulk create reminders by selecting all of these here to be able to just check down, say I want to recover these top 10 ones here, and I can go ahead and bulk create those reminders the same way I would in any other module like the Hygiene Recall module. This list can also be exported into a CSV. Once again, if you're maybe more comfortable working off of an Excel file, or if it's just something you'd like to do to create a reporting tool for your organization. Now, I talked earlier about how Treatment Miner can become more pointed, so I'm going to show you how you could do that. First, you're going to go ahead and select a provider. In this case, I believe the provider for our demo location is this one, is our largest provider here. So that's my first filter. And what I can do here is I can very quickly and easily follow that same process if I'm looking to target this specific provider schedule. Say they have an empty day on Friday, I can use this as a tool to target this specific provider. So potentially your office has an initiative for each provider. You'd like to see a certain amount of codes in a month or a week. So I'm going to go ahead and pull our D2740s. So these are your normal crown codes, and is a great way, at least for my office, we always wanted to see 2 or 3 crowns a week for our main provider. So this would have been a great way for me to go ahead and target that as a front office person. So once again, I can sort by this pending unscheduled, go ahead and click the breakout, sort again, and really filter by these high dollar amounts. The one note I will say is this is only bringing in the dollar amount associated with that code. So if you're an office that maybe has an auxiliary code like sedation, and you're looking for all procedures that require sedation, the Treatment Miner will only show you the dollar amount associated with the code you're looking for. So maybe it is that sedation code. So it's always really important to double check their treatment plan and when you're doing something like that, and to come in here and see what they really need to be scheduled for. Like they may be a sedation patient, like here we have this IV sedation, but it looks like they've got some perio work to do as well, a restoration, it's got a crown, all sorts of stuff that requires sedation, but definitely much more than just that $131. But you can follow that same procedure from here and check and create these reminders in bulk, as well as a way to create pointed and targeted workflows for unscheduled treatment in Treatment Miner. The next module I'd like to take you to, now that we've gone over my favorite ways to create reminders in Jarvis from Hygiene Recall and Treatment Miner, both singular reminders and bulk reminders, is to come in here to Patient Portal. Patient Portal allows you to do a couple of things, and it's another great way to create reminders and actually to create recall lists. And I'm going to show you my favorite way to create a recall list. So for example, let's say we want to create a list of patients who are in the school age, so who are going to want to come in especially during the summer, who are due for recall, and who have a remaining insurance balance. And I'm going to show you how to do that with our filters. So we'll go ahead and start here with add filter. And our first one's going to be age. And I want to say between ages 5 to 22. Select add. There's our first filter. My next filter is I want remaining benefits greater than, I'm going to pick $500, just in case not only do they need to come in for their pro fee, but maybe there's something else that they need to come in for as well. I'll add another filter here, and I want to say last seen before January 1st of this year, which means they're definitely due for recall by June here. And let me add one more filter. I want to say unscheduled procedure, and I want to say we have unscheduled an oral evaluation. I can add that. This now gives me a custom list of patients who are aged between 5 and 22, who have remaining benefits greater than $500, who were last seen before the beginning of the year, and they have a periodic oral evaluation on their treatment plan. This way I know that I'm seeing everybody who truly needs to come in. And this has done one of two things. This has given me a very workable list. This has given me about 185 patients to work with. And I can do one of two things from here. I can go ahead and bulk create those reminders like we did in other screens here, or I can export this into a CSV as a way to communicate with my patients. Because I could very quickly and easily draft a generic email going, hey, we'd love to see you guys in the summer. And I can send that as a bulk email to my patients, as well as creating reminders. Or I can actually send mailers as well, because we do provide the address on this line. So a very quick and easy way to import that into a software in that way. Now that we've created all these reminders, I want to show you the reminder screen. And here are all the reminders here in Jarvis that you can work on. So I'm going to go ahead, and not only will it show you all of the reminders that have been created for this location, I can filter these reminders down. I can filter them down by reminder type for unscheduled treatment, for example, and I can filter down who they're assigned to. So I'm going, looks like maybe I don't have, there I am. So it looks like I have some Hygiene Recall reminders that are assigned to me that I can go ahead and work on. So once you have a reminder, now it's how do I take action on it? So it looks like these two reminders I've actually been able to contact and schedule. But let me go ahead and find some reminders for us to be able to work on. I'm going to go ahead and I can actually take this reminder. So if a reminder is not assigned to you, for whatever reason, it just wasn't assigned to you when it was created, but maybe I'll say that Charlene is out of town. I can actually reassign her reminder to me. So I can assign reminder, and I can go ahead and scroll through, and I can pick myself, and I can go ahead and assign it to me. This means I can then work on that reminder. Now that I've gone ahead and reassigned that reminder, let's go ahead and pick my user, and here it is right here. And you can see the status, the type is Hygiene Recall, the status is untouched. My note when it was created was to get them in for Hygiene Verse to talk about their treatment plan too. The user is assigned to, which is me, any attempts that have been made, my dollar estimate amount, and when it's due. So you'll notice when I click on these three dots, I can now update the reminder. So I can now say that I was able to contact and schedule this patient for that $100 total. Talk to them about their crown. I can spell you guys. And I can update that note on there. Now that I updated that reminder, you'll see that I have a new status that's contacted and scheduled. So I can actually take this action, and that delete button that was there earlier went away, and now I can complete this reminder. Now that we have gone ahead and completed those reminders, the next question is, Sarah, how do I know and how do I track my performance for what reminders I've been completing? That's this next tab over here in Performance. You'll notice this tab is also duplicated in our front office module, as that's another place that you can work on reminders. So in Performance, you can see in the date range that's been selected your daily activity. So these are all the people who have been working on reminders. So you can see how they've been doing when it comes to creating and working on them. And you can see the user statistics down here as well. So you can see the name of everybody who's been working on them, what's been assigned to them, how many attempts have been made, how many attempts have been scheduled, the estimated dollar amount associated with what they've been doing, their attempted rate, and their scheduled rate. So let's go ahead and look at my user here. It says I have 74 assigned to me. I have made 7 attempts month to date. I have been able to schedule 5. So if I click on these will actually show me that breakdown. So these are the 74 reminders that have been assigned to me. These are the 7 that I've been able to attempt. And these are the ones that I've been able to schedule. So very cool, easy ways to be able to track how you're doing, not just for yourself, but also if you're like me, a little competitive and want to see how everybody else is doing in your location, this is a really great way to see that as well. One more thing before I move on from this screen. What I really like about our Reminders tab is that versus the one that's in front office is that here I can see all my reminders due for all time. So I can see reminders that are due a week from now, a month from now, or even 2 or 3 months from now, just so I'm able to really keep an eye on my workflows. This has been creating manual reminders in Jarvis using the Hygiene Recall, Treatment Minor, and Patient Portal modules. Please feel free to reach out if there's anything that we can do to help, and as always, thank you for coming.